Today we're graduating from the stovetop to the oven. So once you know that you can take that cast iron from the stovetop to the oven, your recipes are unlimited. Hey, it's Cooking with Bob. Welcome back to my channel. I'm on part 10 of my 10-part cast iron masterclass series. But before we get underway, just a quick thank you. Right before I turned on my cameras to record this video, I hit 750,000 views across my YouTube channel. And I absolutely love that all of you are stopping by, checking out somebody that's been at it 50 years. So thanks again. And with that, let's get cooking. Today we're going to do two favorites. Cornbread, which is always a cast iron favorite, and we're going to make some homemade mac and cheese. Hey, if you have a dish and you need to cook it on the stove and then pop it in the oven, you can use the same cast iron skillet. But you get yourself some of this cornmeal and you use the easy cornbread recipe right on the back. I do sneak in a little bit of honey to make it a little sweeter, but that's the only thing I do to alter it. I just combined all the dry ingredients from the package and they're in this bowl. And then all the wet ingredients are in this other bowl, so we're just going to stick them here together. Now the thing about cornbread, you don't want to overly stir it, you just want to get it combined. Well, see, this is the thing with a whisk. I'm not a fan. Let's knock this stuff off of this thing and we'll go back to my old-fashioned fork. See, it won't even come out. That's all the good parts probably. It could be the good parts in there. Alright, let's get done with that whisk thing and let's just use an old-fashioned fork. I always find that's the easiest with this kind of stuff. Make sure you scrape them dry pieces off the edge. You can turn the bowl a little bit if it helps you. That's it. Got some cornbread mixed up. Hey, we're back here at the stove. Got a little water just barely boiling for the macaroni. Couple large skillets. We'll use one for the mac and cheese and we'll use one for the cornbread. Now they've been preheating on low. I don't need to get them real hot because I'm not trying to do any searing. I like to put a little bit of butter in the bottom of that skillet for that cornbread. So we'll just stick it in there, let that melt around. Butter them edges so we don't have any issues with that. And we'll get a little butter melted in there and we should be good to go. We got these here fancy ones. They got these little grooves on the outside. Make your stuff look a little bit fancier. So if you know me, I don't measure hardly anything. I'm just going to dump in enough that I think's enough for me and my wife. About that many. I don't know. Is that a cup and a half, 2 cups, something like that? I think that butter's looking pretty good. Let's dump this cornbread batter in there. And you know, if you get these fancy bowls like this, they got them little spout kind of looking things. Kind of helpful in these cases. So let's just put this in here. That already looks good and it's not even cooked. Let me get myself a spoon. That would have probably worked better. If you've been watching me a while, I don't cut out many of these problems. It's part of cooking, so just adapt and overcome. Look at that. Spoon works way better than a fork. So the bottom of that pan, look at that already pulling away. The bottom of that pan should be, look, I'm even dripping some on the floor. I'm still dripping it on the floor. Where's this coming from? I'll just smooth her out. You let her sit there just a few seconds. It'll find its own level. I even dribbled some on the stove. And I just cleaned it because I didn't want it to look all dirty for the video and I'm already messing it up. We don't need that. Throw it away. I got some even on the handle here. I mean, it's on the handle. So we'll just turn this off. And that looks pretty level to me. What do you guys think? I think it looks pretty good. I got it on kind of the center rack. I always pull these off. I think the temperature rating of these is plenty high. I'm on 400 degrees. And we'll start out with 20 minutes. So the timer's set. And we'll just give these macaroni a little stir. They're looking like they're coming along. Funny thing about that macaroni being all fancy, I just figured it out like a few weeks ago. I think my son picked up a box and he's like, hey, this looks pretty fancy. Let's try it. We're kind of convinced this is the way to go. Let's make this delicious cheese sauce for this macaroni and cheese. Couple tablespoons of butter. Now you want that to melt, but you don't want it to brown. So I've had this pan on low, and if you caught me, I moved it from that burner to this burner so you could see what's going on with them noodles better. We'll just let that melt. Let's get one of these babies out of here and see if it's done yet. I'd say 2 more minutes. Pretty al dente, something like that, however you say that word. I just checked these out and they're done, so we're just going to turn that one off. You want to keep some of that water, so if you like to rinse your noodles, by all means you can do that. I don't think I'm going to rinse them today. I'm just going to get the water off. But I'm going to dump some of this in the cup because we're going to need it later. And keep as much of it as you can get out of there safely. It's pretty hot. You got to be careful. Alright, that should be plenty. You're just going to need that for later. Now that butter's melted, what you want to do, you want to make I think it's called a roux, something like that. You want about 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. And we got about 2 in there. Now this is where you don't want it to burn. You can turn it up a little bit to get it going. You just want to get this stuff combined. And you just want to get these dry pieces and get her mixed together. You just don't want it to burn. You just want it to combine like that. Now at this point, if you want to season it, you can. We like garlic, so I think I'm just going to try a little garlic powder in here this time around. Oh, well, just dump a little in there. That looks pretty good. And just mix that in. That'll help give her a nice flavor, I think. So you don't want to get this overly burned. You just want it to have kind of a, I guess that's kind of a khaki color. That should be good. I'm going to guess, but you're supposed to put about 1/4 cup of sour cream. I don't want to make everything dirty. I think I can guess that close enough. I would say that's probably 1/4 cup. I did measure the milk. We got about 1 cup of milk here. So being this is wet, I'm going to go ahead and use a whisk for this. We just want to get this combined. Now here again, if you watch some of my other parts in this masterclass series, as you're cooking, stay ahead of that cleaning game. I had little stuff mixed up here a little bit. Just knock it off there as you go. Just want to heat that up low and slow and keep stirring it for a little bit, and I'll show you what it's going to look like when we're ready. This is all you want. You want this to get thick. You don't really want it to boil. If it's just simmering like that, that always works out fine. And just let her go a little while till it gets fairly thick. Pretty thick, but don't let it boil. You don't want that. So once that gets thick like that, this seems weird, but this works really well. Put yourself about 1 tablespoon or 2 of that pasta water in here. Now this is going to get wet, but it'll thicken back up. So just mix that in there. That just helps it break down all that. See how much smoother it got by putting that in there? That's looking pretty darn good. So while we're doing this, that's why I clean my cast iron skillet every single time with a little bit of dish soap and a brush. Oh, look at that. Perfect timing. Let's take a peek. Oh, we got a ways to go. We're going to put it on for 4 more minutes. Now what I think I'm going to do with that is I'm going to move that up to a higher shelf. Let me show you what's going on here. I love my cornbread with a crusty bottom, so that's why I put the butter in there. It looks like it's getting pretty close, but we're going to go all the way to the top shelf. Get that top a little more done. So as I started to say before the timer ruined my whole thing, that's why I wash my cast iron with dish soap every time. I don't really want my cornbread tasting like bacon or tasting like a hamburger or tasting like a steak. I want it to taste like the ingredients that I'm putting in this mac and cheese. So once this gets to the point, this kind of sticks to a spatula like that, that's the consistency you want. I got some sharp cheddar cheese, and we're going to move this all the way to low so we don't take a chance of it burning. And we're just going to dump her in here. Now, if you shred it up, it'll obviously melt better, and that's why I did. I don't know if you would absolutely have to, but that's the way I've always done it. There's a couple cups of cheese right there in that beautiful cast iron skillet. As I was mixing up that cornbread, obviously everything got stuck to the whisk, so I'm not going to do that twice in this video. I'm just going to use this spoon. So as that starts to melt, just keep combining it. It'll take a little while, but slow pace wins the race. Slow heat and slow. You want to get this all nice and melted. I think it's going to be darn good. Look at that. Oh, that's melting nice. And there's my reminder on the cornbread. Let's check it out. See what it looks like. Turn this obnoxious buzzer off. I don't know, that's looking fine. Let me get something to check it. So ideally you want to use a wooden toothpick, and guess what? I can't find a single one, so let's just do it the old-fashioned way. Yeah, came out clean. Yeah, came out clean. Looks like it's loose. Oh, it's totally loose. Just patch that back in, nobody will notice. I think we're pretty good. We're going to let it sit there a few minutes and cool down. Then we better give this cheese sauce another stir. So it looks like this is well combined. We got some nice cheese sauce here. So all we have to do, like I said, I didn't rinse them. I don't think it matters. You just grab yourself the macaroni and stick in here. Now if this is getting too thick, that's why we kept that pasta juice. Just throw it in there. But I think it's just about just right. We'll see once we get all these noodles out of this pan. We'll just stick them in there. Look at that, we didn't even miss one. So now we got all them in there. Just get this well combined. Oh, that's looking good. And we still have just a little bit of moisture on those noodles, so it helps to get it all together real nice. This was all done on a stovetop in a cast iron skillet. We didn't burn it. Look, nothing's sticking. This is cheese. It's not sticking. You just got to keep that temperature down. And you know what? You might want to slip back and watch part 1 of this 10-part series, because that's where I talked all about heat control. And then you can catch all the way up to number 10. I don't know about you all, but that looks pretty good. We're going to get all a little bit crazy. We're going to put little Tonys on here. Just a smidge. Just give a little bit of heat. This stuff isn't real hot. This is just a normal Tony's. I have some breadcrumbs here. These are store-bought. If you want to dry your bread out and do all that, go ahead. I like a little bit of that crust. So we're just going to throw some of these breadcrumbs on here carefully with clean finger. I put some on the stove every single time. I'm messy. So I don't want to get carried away, but I just want enough that this will crisp up slightly. We got the oven still running at 400 degrees from the beautiful cornbread. Let's stick this in there and just let that get a little crust on the top. And since we're going to try to get the top a little crusty, we're going to put it right on the top rack. While that mac and cheese is getting a little brown on top, we're having some steaks again tonight. That was episode 9. I show you how to do my steaks. And I'm just going to put some steak sizzling sounds in here, so you'll go back and watch part 9. Let's get these things seared. That's a ribeye, and that's a filet. So I'll finish them steaks up, and you can jump back and watch that other video. So that mac and cheese, it's bubbling, looks really good. It's not getting quite brown on the top, so I'm going to turn on the broiler on low and hit the start button. Now that beautiful cornbread is cooled down a little bit, I'm going to stick a pat of butter on here and let it start to melt. And we just got her spread around. It looks pretty good. I just took a peek in there. That mac and cheese is ready to come out of there. Oh yeah. A little bit of crunch. Got some bubbling going on. Oh, let's take a look at this cornbread first. Now one thing about cast iron, you want to be careful. You don't want to be cutting and marking up your seasoning. So just be pretty careful with that. We're just going to cut a little line through here. As I'm cutting that, that's not stuck at all. Let's just give us a pretty nice piece. There we got us a nice piece cut off of there. Look at that. Is that beautiful? fully done inside, not stuck to that brand new lodge. A little bit of crust on the bottom. That's some beautiful crust right there. That's the way I like my cornbread. I don't know about you all, but when that butter melts down over the edge of something like that, oh, that just looks so cool. Look at it floating away. We're just going to plate this up. This macaroni and cheese, it's got a little crunch, a little brown here and there. You would think that this would be really stuck in here, wouldn't you? But it's not. Let's just grab a dab of that, put it over here. So there it is, part 10 on my 10-part masterclass series. Let's see what this cornbread tastes like. I don't know about you all, but there's nothing better than cornbread in a cast iron skillet. I'm telling you, this is delicious this way. Right from the stovetop to the oven. Let's try this macaroni. Ooh, she's pretty hot. Look at the steam rolling off of that. We might want to be careful. That is so cheesy. I think putting that sour cream in it gives a different kind of flavor that you're not accustomed to. That's some good stuff. So we all started this masterclass series and journey way back in part 1, just about heat control, and we worked our way up. I'm just sharing 50 years of cooking experience in cast iron. And make a couple comments. Let me know what helped you out the most out of this 10-part series. One of them dishes I made, if you tried it and you liked it, let me know that as well. So I appreciate it. The masterclass series has been a hit. This is 10 of 10. Y'all graduated. You're all cast iron masters now. So if you missed any of them, jump back. I got a playlist down there on my channel you can check out. Start at number 1, work your way all the way up. So as always, I truly appreciate you. I love getting the comments. I'll try to help you out if you're having any issues with this beautiful cast iron. And as always, you have a great day and keep cooking.